And joining me now from London is football writer and consultant Jonathan Fadugba. Welcome to World Sport, Jonathan. We got our first glimpse of Haaland in the Community Shield last week, which had some mixed reviews. What do you expect from him and City this season?
Yeah, hi. Thanks for having me on your show. He didn't have the best of games last week, I think, but of course, a lot of excitement in the Premier League at the moment is maybe the striker battle. Erling Haaland against maybe Darwin Núñez, of course, of Liverpool. They kind of went toe to toe in the Community Shield last week, and Núñez came out on top, scoring his first goal in an official competition, whereas Haaland started the game, but actually didn't perform as well. So I think that's going to be one of the key storylines, perhaps this season in the Premier League. Who's going to dominate out of Haaland and Núñez, maybe in the battle for the Golden Boot? But of course, there's a lot of other players involved. I'm sure Mo Salah, for example, will have something to say about that. Harry Kane and others. But yeah, Haaland, obviously, £51 million is a major signing for Manchester City, and they've kind of changed their game to maybe make their team more centered around a focal striker, which they didn't really have in the last season or so. So it's a kind of a completely new team, really, for Pep Guardiola in terms of how he's going to look to the focal point of his team.
And when you look at this season, is it as simple as Man City and Liverpool fighting for the title and then everyone else battling for the other two Champions League places?
Pretty much, I think. I think Liverpool look very strong in terms of the recruitment they've done. They got their business done very early, and with the signing of obviously Núñez, I think keep an eye out on Fabio Carvalho as well, who's a young signing from Fulham, who is a very, very talented young prospect. And they've done their business early. Obviously lost Sadio Mane, which is a slight blow, but I think if you look at Luis Diaz coming in January and you look at the makeup of their squad, I think they've got arguably the strongest squad in the league now, and will definitely be challenging. Manchester City, of course, while Pep Guardiola's around, will always be competitive. So I think those are the two that are going to be the teams to beat. If you look lower down, perhaps you could look at Arsenal and Spurs. They've both done quite good business, I think, in the summer. Spurs looked really good under Antonio Conte towards the back end of last season. But of course, they've got to juggle the Champions League as well. So that will be a question mark in terms of how Conte manages his squad. And Arsenal, of course, the season ended disappointingly for them because they lost out, obviously, in the Champions League. But they've made some really strong signings. And I think they might be a team who might feel quietly confident of maybe challenging at the top.
So would that be your top four then? Give me your top four.
Yeah, I think that'll be my top four. I think Liverpool are my favourites for the title. I think Manchester City maybe second. I think they've lost quite a lot of players, key players. For example, letting Sterling go, Zinchenko. So I'm worried if City can maybe still compete at that level. They've got a lot to prove in that sense. And then I think Arsenal maybe and Spurs will battle for the top four. Chelsea, we don't know exactly what business they're yet to do towards the end of the window. I think Sterling is a great signing, but of course there's still a little bit more for them to do. So that's my current top four.
Yeah, and it was a busy summer of transfers. Which club's recruitment impressed you the most?
Yeah, I think Arsenal have been the most impressive in terms of the signings they've got done. I think they've been quite decisive. Vieira from Porto is a young Portuguese player at 22 years old who has a lot to prove, but I think he will be an exciting signing. Gabriel Jesus is the one everybody's talking about. I think at 45 million, that's a bargain almost in today's market. He's a brilliant striker, and I think getting him from City is a real coup and a loss for City. I think they'll feel that as the season maybe goes on. Zinchenko as well is a brilliant player. He can play in multiple positions. He can play in centre midfield or as a left back. So I think Arsenal have done really smart business, and apparently from Arteta they're not done yet. So yeah, I think they will be competitive. I think they've done really good business. I think the signing of Sterling, I think he will do very well for Chelsea, but we still don't know exactly what Chelsea are going to look like at this moment in time. So a lot to do for them.
Yeah, exciting to get things started though. Jonathan, thanks for joining us. I'm sure we'll catch up again later on this season.